And it is 23 away from 8. Time to talk business with our partners 2 Degrees. There's a global scramble for rare earth minerals and the government's telling international investors that we want to be in on it. Garth Bray from BusinessDesk here. Garth, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
Shane Jones is off. I spoke to him this morning. He's off to Australia for a mining conference, then he's off to the US as well. What exactly are we going to say?
I think he's going to point to the fast track and other kind of permitting changes that this government's brought in to say, hey, look, we're open for business. But more importantly, given the context, given the fact that we've seen China talking about using export controls as part of this trade war with the US to sort of make its point, that processing is a big point. China has about 85% or more of the processing for these rare earth materials, as well as about 60 to 70% of the mining that's done there. So he's saying, hey, we need to be digging this stuff out, but also trying to refine it and add value here if possible. It's a big ask. Because,
massive ask.
You know, you'd be thinking, oh, why should we, well, you know, if you've got a whole lot of cash to throw at that, why would you look at New Zealand? What's the sovereign risk? I guess there'll be a bit of a test on that in the next couple of weeks. In the next 8 weeks or so, we're expecting the fast track panel looking at Oceana Gold's decision to expand a gold mine in Waihi underneath some dockland to come out. And if that comes out in favour, then you'd imagine that some of these listed miners that Jones will be talking to later today in Sydney will go, oh, okay, so there is possibility.
Yeah.
With the stuff we're talking about is pretty important. I mean, it's for rare earths, for magnets. There's thorium, which is a potential nuclear fuel. Whether we want to get into that or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But stuff that is antimony, which is like for batteries that are used in, you know, solar power systems or cars or trucks around the world. So
the thing for the government, though, is if there's a change of government, that they come in and they just run roughshod over everything that's come before it, right? So
well, that's the risk, I suppose, a lot of these people are weighing up. They'll look at, you know, what permits are in hand and what can be locked in and worked with for now.
Speaking of processes, the red meat, we've been talking this morning about red meat. It's doing well. We know the prices are high, etc. So what's up with all of the processing companies not doing so well?
Well, it's a little bit like the hospitality thing we were talking about before, where your costs are high, you're making a lot of money, but you know, you're not seeing the profit. A lot of the gains are going straight through to farmers, which is good for them, but we've got over capacity of processing in this country, is what every report for the last 10 years, including the one most recently done for the Alliance Board to speak in favour of that, accepting that Dawn Meats buyout option, which is just that there's so much happening there. They're saying in some cases, I think Silver Fern Farms, 30% down some months, which basically means you've got a whole bunch of people hired, you've got the place all set up, and then for whatever reason the farmers aren't selling as many head of cattle because they're still, you know, dairy prices are good, so they'll keep milking a bit longer or whatever. So there's a real crunch on amongst that oversupply, and they're fighting and bidding hard for the stock to be able to process. And I guess everybody's saying there's $1 billion worth of savings. One report said if you can sort of consolidate and just shrink it down so that it's the right size for the...
Okay.
Yeah.
We're speaking to Alliance about this later on in the program. This morning we've got CPI out at 10:45.
Yeah.
But we've also got other stuff. China GDP, retail activity later. What else are we getting?
And probably nothing out of the United States because they're still in shutdown.
No, of course. It's hard, isn't it? Because that's the Labour Bureau of Statistics, whatever they want to call it.
Bureau of Labour.
There's no one working there.
Well, although there's a bit of rumour that that somehow someone might have sent a draft of that Labour stats report to Jerome Powell, you know, before it all kind of came down, so that they've got a bit of an idea, so that when they're looking at making their rate cut decision next week, he made a speech a couple of weeks ago and people are like, you seem remarkably well informed. So there may be a little bit of stuff leaking out there. But look, you're right, our own data, a wee bit more important. Interesting to see what the prices are in our services industry, things like insurance and so on. Are we actually going to see some drop in that? Is that going to take a bit of a heat out of there? We've got the council rates will bite in this quarter as well. I don't know about yours, mine actually went backwards fractionally.
Really? Don't come in here and show off. I actually don't know because my husband does all the bills, so I couldn't tell you. But I'm assuming they went up, which makes all of us angry. Garth, thank you. Garth Bray, Business Desk. It is 19 away from 8.